Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2007 Fridley High School Commencement Ceremony. I'm Dave Webb, the principal here at Fridley High School. Before I introduce some of our first speakers this evening, I'd like to introduce the folks sitting behind me. From your left to right, we have our school board members, Gordon Backlund, Brad Richter, Kim Sampson, Chris Riddle, Marcia Lindblad, and Fred Bischke. Next, we have our superintendent of schools, Mr. Mark Robertson. Our featured speaker for this evening, Ms. Kaitlin Maguire. And our two top assistant principals here at Fridley High School, Ms. Erin Shattuck and Renee Van Gorp. At this time, I'd like to invite Megan Gabel and Sally Bohlinger to the podium at this time. Both of these young ladies, as they're making their way to the podium, are outstanding students at our school, and they've been so not only just this year, but for the past 4 years. Please join me in welcoming Megan and Sally. Thank you. Good luck.
Good evening, Dr. Webb, Ms. Shattuck, Ms. Van Gorp, Mr. Robertson, distinguished school board members, faculty, staff, community members, family, and friends. It is my pleasure and extreme honor to welcome you all to the commencement ceremony for Fridley High School Class of 2007. On behalf of my fellow students, I would like to be the first to thank you all for joining us on our special day. Tonight, I would like to introduce our first student speaker of the evening. She is our student council president and has been an outstanding student leader at Fridley High School. Please join me in welcoming Sally Bohlinger.
Thank you, Megan. On behalf of the 2007 graduating class, I would like to start out by welcoming and thanking all of the parents, family members, teachers, friends, and siblings who are here with us tonight. This was not an easy journey for anyone involved, and without support, many of us would not be here. To the graduating class of 2007, the ride was long. It was exhausting. There was happiness, sadness, intense period, as well as calm. But now that we are finally here, how do you feel? Was it worth it? To be able to sit where you are, knowing that in a few minutes you will be receiving one of the most important documents of your life. That would be your diploma. Ah yes, the diploma. This little slip of paper is what we get for 12 plus years of sweating, trying to stay fit in gym class, bleeding, all of those countless paper cuts, you know, crying. You worked so hard in that class, and he gave you a what? And stressing out. I don't know what I'm going to do. Why do our teachers always give us homework all on the same day? You know, somehow that little slip of paper just does not seem to cut it. However, we're always so immensely proud of it. It represents the good, the bad, and the ugly of all of the past papers we have created. From the first artwork we created in kindergarten that was hung up on the walls at school, to the first time we could truly write a sentence in cursive. We have built a paper mountain on which we stand today. There were our grade reports, which some of us don't really care to remember, our coloring within the lines contest, which not all of us have yet mastered, and the occasional tardy slip. For many, there have been papers that claim you owe them money, or papers that give you money. It is what you find when you dig through boxes that contain your past, and what you want in order to prove your worth. When we look to the future, many of us see other important documents that will grace our households. Some might imagine a diploma from your college, letters thanking you for serving our country, or the letter offering of a job. For others, a certificate of marriage or birth may make you the happiest in the world. We look forward to receiving these documents, and many of us may already have the ones received sealed in a scrapbook. While we charge full steam ahead to leave our paper trail behind us, rest assured that the rest of the world does charge with us, just on a different path. If you hadn't noticed, the past few years have brought leaps and bounds in the technological world that has left me to wonder if our class will yet again just miss a new era. By this time, in 5 years, maybe the paper trail won't be there. Instead, paper, pencils, and pens will have given way to emails and text messaging. No more writing on chalk or whiteboards, but on keyboards. Instead of the grating sound of lead on paper, there will be the click-clacking of keys as kids finish their homework, then email it in. No more asking your neighbors if you can have a sheet of their paper, or if they have an eraser that actually works. These future kids will not be blessed with the paper trail memories that we have. Instead, they will only remember a bright screen staring them down. When you walk up here to receive your diploma, don't forget how lucky you are that you are actually receiving something in 2D, because by the time our children graduate from high school, who knows, they will probably only receive an email. Our futures will all be different, each of us having our own hardships and triumphs. But cherish your paper trail, because no matter how lost or lonely you may feel, you can always turn to the paper book titled I Am and remember what once was. Congratulations, class of 2007, on receiving that little but important piece of paper.
Thank you, Sally. Our next speaker this evening has helped to make Fridley Public Schools an outstanding choice for students and families. Mr. Mark Robertson has worked for our school district as our superintendent of schools for the past 4 years. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
I've been instructed I can't touch the microphone, so I'm going to move this up. How's that? First of all, graduates, you look great tonight in your cap and gowns, and faculty also, kind of a new idea here at Fridley, and very nice to see you all decked out in your gowns tonight. And students, if you are lucky in 4, 5, or 6 years, if you get a college diploma or some other degree and go through this, you get to wear not only a gown, but one of these hot little capes that hang on the back. And so, and I just wonder, raise your hand if you ironed your gown tonight. Who did? Good job. I had 3 women tell me before I got out the door, you better iron it before Thursday night. So I had no choice but to get that done. A couple of just very brief comments for you. Congratulations to you, class of 2007. You're sitting out there tonight, and I've been there. I've been there a number of times for different degrees and so on, but you have different things going through your minds tonight. Some of you are numb tonight. You're kind of stunned that you're here tonight. You might have done an all-nighter the last week or two to get a paper done. Some of you are overstimulated tonight. You know, you're ready to go and go to the next step. Some of you are relieved. And a few of you I know are relieved for sure. Some of you are very nervous because you're not sure what tomorrow is going to bring. Some of you are happy. Some of you are sad because this is the last time this group's going to sit together in this place, and it'll never be the same again. Some of you are thrilled. Some of you are disappointed. Maybe you didn't quite accomplish what you thought you'd accomplish in high school. Some of you are really focused. I read that little senior publication today, and it's kind of neat to see where some of you are doing in the future. Some of you are really focused. Some of you are kind of, and that's okay, some of you are kind of clueless what's going to happen tomorrow. You haven't thought about tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. That will come for you at some point down the line. I have 2 things that I want you just to think about tonight, very brief things. My dad used to ask me the question all the time, what are you going to be when you grow up? And what he meant was, what are you going to do for a living? And I wanted to be a fireman, I wanted to be this and that, and you know what? I never wanted to be a superintendent. Isn't that funny? But that's where I ended up, and I ended up here because you know what I did? I followed my dreams, my passions, my skills, my interests, and that's the way life takes us sometimes. And you folks, as you graduate now, most of you are going to have 5 to 10 different jobs by the time you're 40. I mean professional jobs, because the way the world is turning and churning, you aren't going to stick with one thing for the same time over time. And so even though that's an important question to ask, what do you want to do when you grow up? What I really would like you to do is I'd like you to imagine, where do you want to be, what do you want to do, and who do you want to be in 25 years from now? And as you spend some time reflecting over the next weeks and months and years, and it's a great thing to do on an annual basis, take that snapshot of where you played that movie forward and where do you want to be, and then ask yourself really the greatest question that you can ask: what am I doing to help myself get there? And I think the ultimate question for all of us is not what do we want to be, but who do we want to be as a person as we develop our relationships with our family, our friends, and our workplace, and so on. And so my encouragement for you tonight is that, focus on where you want to be some point down the line. Think about what you're doing to take those steps to get there. And try to pattern your life and set goals for yourself that'll help you reach those things in the future. This has been a great class. It's a small class compared to some of the classes that are coming up, but quantity and quality are not the same thing. You're a high-quality staff. You've done great, students. You've done great things here. I wish you the best for your future. Come back and visit us sometime down the line. Best of luck. Thank you.
Would the choir and band members please make their way back to your respective musical groups at this time?
Eyes up and up.
As the choir and band members are returning to their seats, I'd like to take a moment to thank Mr. Blair Berger and Mr. Bruce Messer for their outstanding leadership of our Fridley High School music program. Our next speaker this evening is Andrew Gerdeen. Andrew is one of our co-valedictorians this year. He has also led several of our student organizations here at Fridley High School. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Andrew Gerdeen.
As we gather here tonight, we celebrate a victory. We've learned and experienced so many things over the past 13 years that have prepared us for our lives to come. We're ready for the future. It has arrived at last. Some of us will pursue technical careers. Others will attend a university for 4 long years. Some will be doctors, others will be mechanics. Some will be mechanics or computer designers. Others will be teachers. But all are important to our culture, our country, and our world. This past year has been difficult for me. With sickness and death plaguing my family, there were times I did not want to get out of bed, others that I will always dread. But I'm standing here today, and I hope and pray, and I've persevered, and that you will too when trials come your way. I continually look forward to a future of hope, but I now realize that my past has been just as important in reminding me of who I am. And I hope that all of you realize that as well. When you are facing troubling dilemmas, look to your past. Look to the specific memories that made you who you are and that will give you the vitality to persevere. In my life, there have been plenty such memories. Cesare Pavese, a famous Italian poet, once said, "We do not remember days, we remember moments." And I feel that it is important to search deep within your heart for the moments that shaped your identity. And so, Fridley class of 2007, remember the moments. The first day of kindergarten, we were scared and apprehensive. Slowly we'd adjust, but at first we were defensive. First grade, we had our first spelling tests. Slowly we learned to read and write. We began assimilating moral standards, what to do and when to fight. Friendships were forming, carefree and joyous, yet we were growing up so fast. No homework, minuscule responsibilities, but the times, they wouldn't last. In third grade, we got our first homework assignment. It was new, it was novel, but very quickly it lost its excitement. Enter projects and tests, yet the teachers were kind. Some units, like the wolves, the rainforest, would stir our mind. Slowly, we learned study skills, mathematics, social studies, all those boring drills. Yet it was a fact of life. We were growing up, on to the middle school. We were moving up. Finally, we were a unified class, but in forming new friendships, we continued unabashed. 5th grade was transition. The middle school was large. We were helped by great teachers who wanted us to take charge. We do not remember days. We remember moments. The jokes of Mr. Galinsky. Homeroom, the cafeteria was a crowd. The 4 Ps of Mr. Perry: be prompt, be polite, be prepared, be proud. Gingerbread houses, healthy living with Mrs. Shervold. Life science with Mr. Gatormson, we were learning to be bold. 8th grade had arrived at last, and so we began to pave our different paths. Some took languages, others played sports. Some were in band, some classes were still forced. The great English bicker between Mrs. K and Mr. T. Mr. Holt became victim, Mr. Bogle and his frugality. But finally, 8th grade came to a close. The dances, the parties, we were kings unopposed. At 8th grade commencement, memories and reflection were sought, but we were on to the high school, whether we were ready or not. We do not remember days, we remember moments. When we arrived at the high school, we had some things in common. We were freshmen, we were naive, yet we knew we were someone who had found an identity. The moments up to then had shaped us, sculpted us, and guided us on what to do and when. In the next 4 years, many moments would occur. Some would happen to all, but others to just him or her. And so, Fridley High School, remember the moments. Freshman physical science, the sludge test, daily quizzes, Spanish, French, German, to become language whizzes, sports, activities, homecoming, the pep fests, American history, the dreaded boxes, and multiple choice tests. The homeless sleep out, relay for life, organizations in service, chamber singers, snow days, the times when we were nervous, prom, a first kiss, a first date for some. For others, it was nothing big. It had become all but custom. The Iliad, the Odyssey, English with Mr. Lou, politics with Mr. Myra and his fabled freezer stew, Mrs. Rintala, student council, the pep band and their tunes, Mr. Bullard, astronomy, the sun and the moon, Fayed with Mr. Mack, badminton in pairs, health with Mr. Barrett and his slideshow scares. Finally, selling the houses, building trades would survive. The school's class options remained diverse, so everyone could thrive. Foursquare, tech ed, art, the Wizard of Oz, all embedded in our memory simply because we do not remember days, we remember moments. Some took post-secondary, others AP, some excelled in sports, others in geometry, AP biology, the Hooters scandal, the carrots that were green, privileges, driving a car, now that we're 16, calculus, track and field, English, history, Spanish, drama. I hope you will pursue what is easy. And that you will find joy reflecting on this past year, the friendships, the parties, the successes, the tears, and looking back on it all, when you are utterly spent, you'll truly see that we do not remember days, we remember moments. And so now, at last, we depart from this district. This town, this school, in some ways we'll miss it. Our lives lead on, we're ready for anything. The moments, the memories, bracing us for what fate may bring. And so remember the moments that defined your life. Remember the people that carried you in times of strife. And know that you can succeed in anything you do, that your families, the school, the country, all have faith in you. I know that these memories have affected me. And as we move on in unity, one class, one body, the world to take, we will succeed for our country's sake. I thank you, Fridley class of 2007. These last 13 years have been magical, exhilarating, euphoric, unforgettable, and life-defining. And though I may not remember the days, I will always remember the moments.
Nice job. Mom, did you get that picture? I know that. Good. All right. Our next speaker this evening is our staff speaker, Ms. Kaitlin Maguire. She was selected by all of you to be the speaker for this evening. Kaitlin is currently the English department chairperson. She's also an instructor for our College and the Schools English course that grants college credit for students that take the course here at Fridley High School. I like the fact that Kaitlin has high expectations for the students in her classroom and has a true caring touch to help students achieve their best. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Kaitlin Maguire.
Thank you. Superintendent Robertson, members of the school board, Dr. Webb, Ms. Shattuck, and Ms. Van Gorp, distinguished faculty and staff, proud and relieved parents, calm and serene grandparents, siblings waiting for a better room, ladies and gentlemen, graduating seniors, good evening and thank you for this great privilege. I am deeply honored that you've asked me to say a few words here tonight. This is a day that you will always remember, and I feel fortunate to be a part of it. It seems fitting here tonight that we are spending your last moments as a student here at Fridley High School together. 4 years ago, you began your experience at Fridley High School, just as I did. I too walked around nervously, trying to remember everyone's names, make friends, and find a friendly face to sit next to during lunch. I had some of you in my classroom during my very first day of being a teacher. I can remember how nervous I was that day. I had no idea then how much I would learn from all of you. You've taught me a lot of important lessons that will undoubtedly shape the rest of my teaching career. Never underestimate the impact you can have on other people. Your class has made a significant impact on me, and I thank you for it. When you were freshmen, I watched you fidget in your seat while trying to grasp what exactly it meant to be a high school student. Many of you walked down the hallways and thought to yourself, how could those seniors be so big? And many of you probably thought it would take forever before you were able to enter the senior courtyard. For some of you, you may look back now and wonder how it all went by so quickly. As sophomores, I saw you go through your last carefree year of high school. I say this because it was before the thought of your future beyond Fridley may have really entered your mind. High school itself was not new to you anymore, and you were able to easily navigate the hallways and FHS traditions like homecoming and snow week. I received almost daily updates from you about how you almost passed your driver's test. And for you, the thought of graduation still seemed like it was so far away. When you came back in the fall as juniors, you seemed to have a new confidence, yet stress level about you. You were finally an upperclassman. Junior year was a year when you really pushed yourself. You realized what you were doing here really did matter for what you wanted to do out there. You learned that when you really push yourself, you can accomplish great things, like that unforgettable win over Totino. You were able to take harder classes, and some of the electives were now open to you. The thought of your future was starting to be more present in your daily thoughts. When am I going to take the ACT for the second time? What exactly am I going to do once I leave here? This brings us to last fall. You walked in FHS last September and looked like those seniors did when you were a freshman. You looked at the freshmen and thought, we were never that small, or certainly not that immature. And the teachers around you who heard you say that agreed with you, even though they remembered what you were like when you were a freshman too. Senior year was finally here. The courtyard was yours. and you got to be the leaders in our school. You may have been a captain in your sport, or perhaps you were holding an office in one of our many hardworking clubs. Maybe you were building a house or taking college classes early. All of a sudden, the things that seemed so far away were suddenly in your reach. It was less than a year before you would truly enter the real world. You realize that that can be exciting, yet frightening at the same time. Your driver's test updates turned into, I just got accepted into college, or let me tell you about this great internship I got. Your plans have evolved beyond FHS. When you walk out of here tonight, it will not be as a student, but as a high school graduate. You have been here since I've been here, so in a way it almost seems as though I should be graduating tonight as well. But Dr. Webb informed me that simply won't be the case. I'll be returning in the fall, and for that, I'm very thankful. For the plans I had when I was in high school have evolved as well and eventually guided me here. And throughout my journey, I have learned just how important time is. Time is the biggest gift you will ever receive in your life. It is also the biggest gift you can give to someone else. Whether it be your friends, future employer, or significant other, the time you spend and how you spend it is precious. Be choosy with how you spend this gift. Don't let anyone take time away from you without your permission. Find joy with how you make use of it, and continue to ask yourself if you are using it wisely. For life is too short, and we all know someone who simply didn't get enough time. Time is brief, fleeting. It's a commodity that can't be stored for use at a later time. It just goes away, quite literally, with the ticking of the clock. Sure, we can save time by being efficient, but we can't stop it to take a breather. That's why it's such a tragedy when we waste it, or worse, when someone wastes it for us. Use your time wisely. There may be moments in your life when you feel time has passed you by and opportunities have been lost. However, the author George Eliot said that it's never too late to be who you might have been. Remember this as you move forward through the next stages of your life. When I look out at all of you tonight, I see the potential for greatness. If no one has told you yet, let me be the first. You can do great things. Greatness is nothing more than a vision, hard work, and achieving your goals. The world is full of people saying, you can't do this, or you can't do that. Do not listen to them. They are simply wrong. Anyone who tells you that you cannot be great has forfeited the right to be listened to. There is a part of each of you that knows this to be true, a part of you that will make a difference, take a stand, and achieve greatness. I'm not simply talking about making money. Anyone can make money. I'm talking about achieving success and happiness on your own terms. When I look at you, I see greatness, but you have to see it too, and some of you will. You will do great things. Continue to challenge yourself as you search for the greatness you have inside you. Learn, grow, listen to different perspectives, and follow your heart. Kurt Vonnegut once wrote, I want to stand as close to the edge as I can without going over. Out on the edge, you can see all the kinds of things you can't see from the center. As you tiptoe, jump, or run past the center of the FHS community tonight, remember to enjoy your time to the fullest while searching for greatness out on the edge. Thanks again for not only allowing me to have this privilege this evening, but for sharing some of your time with us during the past few years. Fridley class of 2007, I wish you all the very best.
Thanks, Ms. Maguire. Nice job. For this year's ceremony, we decided to try something new, and we have, for the first time here at Fridley High School, our faculty joining our seniors on the floor at Fridley High School. In addition to our faculty, we have many staff members through our K-12 system that are here joining us tonight. This has been quite a year, and it's been a year that I've seen our faculty and staff work harder than they ever have before. This is the third year of our grant that we received to implement the International Baccalaureate program. It was also the authorization visit year where they had to come and send their evaluators to our school to put their stamp on our school. And what a stamp they put, and we will soon become the very first International Baccalaureate Middle Years Program school and the first full school in the state of Minnesota next year. I'd like to recognize my assistant, Sue Culbertson, for all of her behind-the-scenes work. She is truly our commencement coordinator. She does all the programs, all the tickets, all the special seating, everything that you can imagine, all the line lists for students to make tonight's event a special event for all of us. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Sue Culbertson. We're extremely fortunate to have outstanding in-house technical leadership as well. We have Dave Harvette, Judy Armold, and their entire technical crew. They deserve a huge round of applause. Just putting a shine on your gymnasium when it's used all year long for athletic events is quite a task as well. Please join me in recognizing Mr. Rick Moss and his entire custodial crew. At this point, I would like to recognize many of our honor students. This year, we have a special year, and we have 6 co-valedictorians, and I think that's just amazing. This year, I'd like to recognize the following students, and would you please rise to be recognized? Cassandra Breitenfeld, Lauren Carlson, Noah Kraft, Andrew Gerdeen, Monica Guskevich, and Molly Royth. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you. The only F these students ever receive is that big F on their letter jacket for all the good work they do. Now I'd like to recognize all students with a 3.0 to a 3.49 graduating with honors. Would you please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. Next, would all students with a 3.5 to a 3.749 graduating with high honors please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. And finally, would all students with a 3.75 to a 4.0 GPA graduating with highest honors please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. Would the members of the class of 2007 please stand? Members of the Board of Education and Superintendent Robertson, the members of this class have fulfilled all the requirements for graduation from this school. All the requirements that are set forth by the State Board of Education and the Board of Education of Fridley School, District 14. In recognition of this achievement, they are entitled to their diplomas as graduates of Fridley High School. We seek the cooperation of all guests this evening by withholding your applause and cheers until the entire class has been presented. Chairman Kim Sampson, at this time, if you would like to come forward. The class of 2007 will be called to the platform to receive their diplomas. Row 1, you may begin making your way to the stage. The rest of you may be seated.
Ready? Max Adams. Robert Adler. Muhammad Ahmed. Boda Akinbayeva. Reed Allenson. Stacy Allen. Kimberly Anderson. Samantha Anderson. Alyssa Archer. Nicholas Ash. Tave Ayu. Robert Barron. Kayla Bowney. Jacqueline Beck. Christopher Benjamin. Celia Bintner. Sally Bohlinger. Carrie Ann Boris. Alicia Bradley. Cassandra Breitenfeld. Emily Brown. Tabitha Burnett. Tracy Camarillo. Lauren Carlson. Jacob Chambers. Gregory Chase. Kenneth Chung. Courtney Christensen. Daniel Clark. Lawrence Cooper. Noah Kraft. Lacey Cross Evenson. Melissa Cutler. Dustin Dahl. Scott Dahl. Jasmine Dahlberg. Demi Doms Odell. Jasmine Davis. Samuel Dennis. Brett Durdowski. Karen Dettel. Tenzin Dolma. Patience Dolo. Angela Drews. Alicia Erdman. Michael Farmer. Emily Field. Angelica Fredrickson. Heather Frost. Megan Gabel. Andrew Gerdeen. Hope Geving. Kevin Green. Kyle Gustafson. Monica Guskevich. Mary Guzik. Theodore Hagman. Jenna Halverson. Kirsten Halverson. Lauren Hamburg. Melissa Hardy. John Hagestead. Joseph Heider. Louis Herrera Jr. Rob Bob Hogan. Amanda Hollahan. Joelle Hopwood. Kristen Hovey. Mitch Hupp. Michael Ista. Matthew Jackson. Jamie Jakubik. Zach Jama. Kayla Johnson. Tyler Jordan. Mommy Kamara. Christian Carr. Felicia Kelly. Eric Kidder. Joseph Klabundi. Kevin Knickerbocker. Krista Korsgaden. Gassan Kram. Tyler Krine. Peter Landris. Christina Larson. Richard Leyland. Matthew Logue. Jamie Lewinsky. Alexander Lewithley. Daniela Maldonado. Ina Maslova. Anne Marie Megers. Emmanuel Makonnen. Michael Mendoza. Cassandra Menon. Robert Meyer. Nicole Mickelson. Benjamin Militich. James Mizraka. Gabrielle Moore. Judith Motel. Nancy Musa. Matthew Nalepka. Sandra Narciso Carrion. Keith Nelson. Shayla Ness. Brian Neihart. Kirby Norberg. Donald Nowitzki Jr. Melissa Oakvik. Manny Omero. Anale Osman. Timothy Patchen. Luke Peters. Eric Peterson. Timothy Pettit. Kirsten Prosser. Kayla Randall. Jamie Rasmussen. Brian Renault. Dustin Ryman. Jesse Ryman. Lindley Richter. Robert Rydell. Natalie Robeson. Molly Royth. David Rue. John Rushy. Katie Sandberg. Joshua Satre. Tanae Savage. Becca Sibbett. Emily Shodin. Kristen Snow. Fumilola Shodunke. Kevin Stanislawski. Angela Steffen. Tiffany Steiger. Ahmed Sule. Michael Sullivan. Claudia Swanson. Gardy Tay. Paul Tilbury. Paul Tiller. Kimberly Tran. Erica Trask. Thomas Truschel. Tyler Trushinsky. Christina Tucker. Samantha Erdahl. Anvar Valeev. Louis Vang. Drew Varholt. Stephanie Veracek. Teresa Voss. Keelan Wallace. Benjamin Valerius. Laura Wallace. Arissa Wangley. Rochelle Warlin. Emmeline Westland. Thomas Williams. Alex Wynn. Cody Wood. Marquell Wright. Gawa Shong. Kevin Yang. Scott Youngquist. Patricia Zena.
Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2007. couple people that, like Jim Miller took, I had his family, so he had his kids